They are belong to us.
You're listening to Gamers Digest, a podcast where your hosts put the controllers down just long enough to talk about gaming news, rumors, and anything else they can think of. Here are your hosts, Spider-One and Mr. Factastic.
We're here.
Yeah, you're actually a little off camera.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There we go.
Cat behind me?
Yeah, that's good enough. People can see you. We can look at each other
Yeah, we
again.
can look at each other now. How are you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
I'm pretty tired, but whatever. We are Gamers Digest. We are a fan podcast, video cast, whatever cast. We talk about video game news, rumors. We do reviews, previews every week, Monday at 7. So here we are, a few minutes late as normal.
Yeah, as per usual.
So we got a whole crap ton of stuff to talk about this week because there was a little announcement that PlayStation 4 will be coming out this holiday season. So we're gonna talk about pretty much everything PlayStation 4 that we know so far. But I did find some other news. But first we like to go over what we did for the week in gaming. So what did you do gaming wise?
Well, I played a lot of Galactic Civilizations. A lot. All my productivity went out the window because I had to beat. Basically, it's a 4X game. I talked about it on the last week's show. It's kind of like Civilization, but it's set in outer space. And I played. I just did a huge marathon. I beat it 4 times. I got a military victory, a cultural victory. Basically, military victory. You got to just destroy all the civilizations, all the other races.
Right.
Cultural ones. You're just so influential in the universe that you win the game. The alliance victory, where you just ally yourself with everybody, and then there's the technology, victory, which was the hardest one to do, which is why it took so long for me to play through this game all last week. You have to research every single tech in the game, and after you do that, you ascend to a higher being because you know everything, and then you win the game. So now that I finished that game, I can actually focus on the real world things to do.
Work on getting a computer so you can play the second one.
Yeah. I mean, this one can run the second one, but I have to be zoomed all the way out, so I can't see any of the ship battles or anything like that. It's not worth it. Right. It's not worth it. It's basically like Civilizations 1, so I'm like, okay, let me just play 1.
Yeah. Oh well. This week I played Torchlight 2. World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2. I did some Aliens vs Predator, so that was
cool.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, I bought it on Amazon for $8. The new one, the newest one. So I started that a little bit. And Dishonored. I mean, I finished Dishonored, and that's going to be my review this week. So I'll get into that a little more. And I took a trip to Florida over the weekend. Drove, didn't fly. So I am a little more tired than normal, but.
All in one weekend, by the way.
Yeah, we started on Friday and we made it back yesterday, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh well, I got to see Disney World.
Did you like my text that you beat Romo there?
Yeah. Well, I didn't go in Disney World. I just went to Disney World. So technically I didn't beat him anywhere.
Oh.
I've been to Disney World already.
Oh, okay.
Nikki hasn't, but I've actually been there in '97, so I'm sure things have changed since then.
I bet.
But, I did sneak in some game time, so that was pretty cool. I also picked up a couple of used games today. I picked up the Naruto Broken Bond game for Xbox. It's kind of like the RPG fighter mix.
Was that the first one?
That's the second one.
Okay.
I had started the second one, but then my Xbox broke. So I did enjoy those games. And then I picked up Fable 3, because that's the only one of the Fable series I never played. So, oh well. So we got a bunch of news relating to PlayStation, but we do have some other news this week. So we'll do those stories first, and then we'll talk about PlayStation for a while, and then I guess I'll do my review.
Yeah.
So
the first news story is Sony related. Uncharted 3 multiplayer may be going free to play, which is actually pretty cool news. They had something on their website, and then they took it down or something.
Yeah.
Inquiries or something like that, but. This would be pretty cool if you could just, download the game and just play it for free.
Yeah, and I mean, Uncharted multiplayer isn't anything crazy, but it's not bad.
No,
Yeah.
I played Uncharted 2's multiplayer, and it was like super fun.
Yeah.
That's why when I heard that Tomb Raider was getting it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be pretty cool.
IGN released a review for Tomb Raider today.
Yeah, I heard that it was getting pretty good scores.
Everything but the multiplayer.
Ah,
They said the multiplayer is terrible.
that sucks.
But they said the regular game's really good. So that's all we're really going to play it for anyway.
True. That's all
Um,
you're getting it for.
You can get it on PC right now for Steam for $45.
Pretty good.
Team Meat, who does obviously Super Meat Boy, and among other games, actually finally released what their new game is going to be. Their new game is called Mugenics, and it's actually going to be a cat lady sim. They said that it's a genre that the industry was missing.
It's supposed to be a mix of like The Sims, Pokemon, Tamagotchi, and all
Yeah,
that
like
stuff.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, like, you're reading about it, and just some of the stuff, like, one cat, you're trying to mate with another cat, but that cat attacks the other cat while that cat's eating.
Yeah.
So when that cat eats, it associates it with pain. So basically it just starves itself to death.
Yeah.
So, like, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that can
And like
happen.
if your cat gets like a cat AIDS or something like
Yeah.
that, you can like cryogenically freeze it and like do missions for a doctor in order to get a cure and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, it seems like it would be an interesting.
New concept.
Yeah,
It's a new concept. That's exciting. And these guys always make solid gameplay, so, you know, can't beat that. BioShock Infinite, we've talked about it pretty much getting delayed, you know, every monthly. But it's finally done, and, you know, they said it's ready to ship. But right now, if you pre-order it on Steam, they're actually doing, like, a tiered reward system. So the more people that pre-order it, the better rewards you get. Like, the first level is, if enough people pre-order it, you get the first BioShock for free. The next tier is you get some hats, you know, for Team Fortress 2 since it is Steam.
Yeah.
And the final tier, which is actually really nice, you actually get XCOM for free.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And XCOM is a good, solid game. And wait, I'm just making sure. Was it the same company, 2K? Yeah, it's the same company. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So if you're interested in BioShock Infinite and you own a PC, it sounds like that's the way to go. Shooters on PC are generally a little better anyway.
Yeah.
So.
That I do agree with. EA announced some layoffs in LA and Montreal for their game. Was this the one that lost 30 people, or is that the others?
No, I
They
think
laid off-
I think they were the ones that lost 30 people.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, I mean, people are using their jobs. They're restructuring. There's a lot of restructuring going around in the video game world.
Yeah, that's to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
They there was a bunch of other stuff going on this week with layoffs and closures, and we do have one other story, but we'll get into that. Like with the PS4, since I didn't write this in there, I can throw this kind of out there now. Like PlayStation Studios are down from like 48 to like 22 or something. Like they cut their studios down, so a lot of people are restructuring, and I think it's a good time to do it just because, you know, new consoles.
Yeah, you got to get ready for the new war, the new battle. So yeah.
IGN, you know, laid off a bunch of people, and they actually are shutting down a few websites. GameSpy, which is their PC website, YouGo, and then OneUp, which OneUp, of the ones that are closing down, I'll probably miss GameSpy because I did like their PC-centric stuff. But I'm definitely going to miss OneUp because OneUp always did like the cool editorials. Like they were more a little more writer-heavy than like IGN, which is like strictly news and stuff like that, and YouGo.
So, like, you would hope that these people from all those closed down websites will like find new jobs at other sites. Basically, there's just a lot of cleaning up going on.
Right.
Because say like the PS4 announcement was announced last Wednesday, all these people would be talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I can go to Destructoid, I can go to Joystick, I can go to IGN. I would read the same information.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I mean, it's just spread way too thin. Maybe we're headed towards the era where we start consolidating more, and you know, we're a lot more efficient.
And I mean, the big thing about these is they were all under one company. So you know, the company that runs IGN was kind of like, you know, why do we have 4 video game websites?
Yeah.
that cover the same stuff. And a lot of the writers from those websites did go to IGN, but some of them did lose their jobs, and we hope they find work because they all had to have some kind of talent to get there. I don't necessarily think IGN has the best writing ever, but their content coverage is usually pretty good because they are so popular.
Yeah.
But there are definitely better writing websites out. And for if you're looking for like PC gaming stuff, there's always PCGamer.com. There's all kinds of stuff that you can fill in the market. So I think it's a good move by IGN just to kind of consolidate.
Yeah. So be more efficient.
DayZ, the popular mod for Arma 2, was kind of a pain to install initially, and then there was the DayZ loader, which kind of made things a little easier, but now it's actually installable directly through Steam. So anybody who hasn't tried it, definitely go out there and try it. So yeah, DayZ Commander, that's what it was called.
The Commander. Yeah, I remember.
That was what you used to load it. But now that it's directly integrated in Steam, they are selling the crap out of it because it is like front page on Steam today. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're getting closer to that standalone release, and then I'm gonna hop in it. Slowly, I'm moving back to being a PC gamer. I mean,
even me.
Yeah, even you. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
One of the topics that I was actually going to propose this week is in the chat. Dave's there. I kind of wanted to get you guys to argue like console versus PC, but then you were like, "Oh, I think I'm going to be a PC gamer." I'm like, "Great, there goes my idea for a topic." Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, PC gaming is.
He already won you over.
PC gaming it is better. Like I remember back in the day, like back in high school and stuff. Like I went to my PC before I went to my like PlayStation or my Saturn. Like there was Half-Life and stuff like that, and there's all the Half-Life mods like Day of Defeat. Not Times. I was thinking Time Splitters, but what was the other one? Counter-Strike. Stuff like that. I mean, PC was it was better back then, and it still is now. I just lost touch because of I guess financial.
Yeah, I mean PC gaming's easier to get into now than what it was. And I was actually having this conversation with a guy at work. 5-6 years ago, and definitely more than that. To play PC games really well, you had to have a pretty high-end PC. Now the parts are so cheap that you can buy like mid-range parts and not pay a lot for a desktop and be able to play most games on good settings.
Yeah.
Obviously you're not going to be playing Crysis on Ultra with PhysX, but you definitely be able to play all games, and they look well. Like Borderlands 2, I bought on the PC. I own the first one on Xbox, and then I bought the second one on PC, because really, the physics sold it for me. Like, the graphics were so much better, and I didn't need to upgrade to run any of that. So,
that is cool.
And I can play the Crysis demo on high. I can't play it on Ultra, but I can play it on high. Crysis 3.
That's good. That's good. Very cool. So a Connecticut senator proposed a bill that would ban minors from using fake guns in like arcades and stuff.
Yeah, going back to Time Crisis.
Yeah. A ban, really?
I
want to know who is this senator, like a Democrat or Republican? I just want to know.
I actually think he was Democratic, but don't quote me on that. I wanted to like go in Dave and Buster's today and like take a picture of like a bunch of little kids playing the games to see like how outrageous this bill is. I mean, we've talked video game violence.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But when a little kid's holding these guns, none of these guns are really shaped like real guns.
No.
I mean, maybe the handguns and maybe like the Deer Hunter game is the closest thing. But like the Time Crisis guns and like the Terminator guns and stuff, they are like huge monstrosities.
Yeah, huge, unrealistic, Nerf-looking guns. And a lot of them are colored like orange or just have weird colors to it. So it's, I don't know, a ban. I'm not liking that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been proven, and Dave linked in chat an article that actually came out today, and I actually read that article, and that was a very good article. Basically, a guy from the FBI, I think he was formerly from the FBI, basically says that video games don't cause the violence. It's predetermined and stuff like that, which is basically what we said.
Yeah.
So,
Like, where's the correlation that me playing this game makes me want to go rip somebody's heart out, or rip their head off with their spine?
Yeah.
Where's that correlation? Where's that trigger in that game I just played?
Who knows? Speaking of very, very violent games, Devil May Cry, it's a big DLC. Virgil's Downfall is coming March 6th. I am excited for this because we get to play Virgil, and he was pretty badass in the game. So, yeah, March 6th, and that's actually both platform.
There's supposed to be another DLC that's already out.
Yeah, and that one's free. Virgil's Downfall is going to cost some money, but the free DLC out now is the Bloody Palace.
Okay.
And it's kind of like the level system like they had in Devil May Cry 4, where you go through levels and they get harder and harder. So just another way to play.
Like a little gauntlet.
Yeah.
What was there? Something else about this? The DLC is going to be like 720 Microsoft points, like some weird number.
Yeah.
It's like $8 or something like that. That's what it factors out to.
Microsoft does whatever they want.
I know.
I am so ready for the next console generation where they're like, okay, no more Microsoft points. We're just going to do it in money, like PlayStation does, because that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Because I'm really annoyed by the 240 Microsoft points that I have laying around in my account that I can't use because there's nothing that's 240 points.
Right.
It's always either 400 points, 800 points, or 1,600 points.
Well, we were looking at some movies on Xbox, like hard to find movies, kind of like the Catfish movie.
Okay.
Like there's a movie on Jeffrey Dahmer that's coming out, and actually it's out, and we were kind of interested in that, and that's only available on Xbox Live, and it's very hard to find otherwise. And it was like 530 Microsoft points, and I was like, that sounds really expensive. I wonder what the conversion is at. So I had to pull up like Google and like this to Microsoft points. I was like, wow, that's like $6. I was like, I don't know if it's worth that. So I'm totally ready for regular money.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Today's the last day to vote on PlayStation Network for, I guess it's like the Gamer's Choice Awards, and you can vote on what games you like, and starting tomorrow, the winners of the categories will actually be discounted.
That's pretty cool.
And you can do it online. You can do it on their new store. You can do it on the console. So, definitely vote if you're interested in picking up some of these games, because they may be a lot cheaper tomorrow.
Yeah, like probably Walking Dead would be up there.
Journey was on there.
Journey.
A lot of like the Game of the Year nominees. I didn't have a chance, but Telltale put out some Walking Dead game news today.
They did?
Yeah, they said Season 2 is still pretty far away, but there might be something in between to hold us over. They didn't say what it was. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Activision laid off, 30 people?
This was the one.
Okay, this is the one. Yeah, Activision laid off 30 people and expect fewer licensed games this year. From now on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because last week we talked about how they picked up Ninja Turtles to do 3 licensed games. But yeah, they're
also doing the Walking Dead game, aren't they? The first-person shooter.
I think that one's pretty well done.
Okay.
So with Daryl and Merle.
Yeah, Daryl and Merle. That's gonna be a weird game. I'll at least rent it.
Yeah, that seems like a rental game. Can't be worse than Aliens.
You're right. Because you can expect the AI for the zombies to come running at you.
Yeah. You expect bad AI with zombies. You don't expect them to do anything special.
Not with Xenomorphs. No. Not with Xenomorphs.
BlizzCon, Blizzard's big convention that they hold to celebrate themselves. Wish we could have a convention to celebrate ourselves. Took a year hiatus, but they're actually doing it again this year, November 8th and 9th. Last year they said they didn't really need to do it because they didn't really have anything to announce. Like they typically coincide big announcements like StarCraft 2, expansions, Diablo, World of Warcraft, obviously. This year we're thinking we might finally hear something about their new MMO, Titan.
Yeah. So you're gonna be going to Anaheim this November?
I'd love to go. The problem with BlizzCon is so many people want to go, and they restrict. It's not like Otakon where you just pre-reg. They restrict ticket sales like ridiculously. So like when what they typically do in previous BlizzCons is they have 2 times they sell tickets, like actual time periods, and you have to log in and hope you get one in that time because everybody else is trying to get in. And if you get in, you're lucky, and then you get a ticket. And they typically offset the times. Like one is like really early in the morning, and then one is like really late, so that people in different time zones have a fair chance.
Yeah, when you got like 15 million people playing your game, you know, they probably want to go to this thing.
Yeah, and it's I think the last BlizzCon was restricted to 150,000 tickets.
Wow.
So if I can get a ticket, that would be great because I would love to go out there at least once.
See what it's like.
Right. And I've had some friends that have gone and they loved it. I actually have a friend that lives in California, so he said if I ever wanted to come out there, he actually lives in Anaheim, so or like right, suburb of Anaheim.
Yeah.
So I could just stay with him. I'd like to go, but tickets are all like we were looking at Otakon tickets, which we might have an announcement about that shortly. But spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
But BlizzCon tickets alone are usually like $180, whereas like Otakon's like $80.
Yeah, you do save a pretty penny there.
Yeah, so.
And you gotta think about the travel.
Yeah, at least lodging probably wouldn't be too much of a thing. So November 8th and 9th, BlizzCon.com, Blizzard.com. If you're interested, they haven't put out when they're gonna sell the tickets, but I'm gonna say $180 ticket. But they give you a lot of stuff. Like
a lot of swag.
Yeah, they give you like statues and of course stuff to use in the game, like pets and
cool.
Pictures and crap like that. That they are very good about not releasing it ever. So like, there's a code for like a pet from the very first BlizzCon, and I bet you if you look it up on eBay, it's probably like $2,000 or $3,000.
Wow.
So. Yep.
That is hardcore.
Yeah.
Let's see. Far Cry 3 is getting an outpost reset option and some tweaks to the game.
Yes, I'm excited for this.
I mean, basically you can add to the longevity of your game,
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Far Cry 3 is all the outposts, when you liberate them, I guess is what they called it, bad guys stop spawning in the areas that you liberate.
It kind of makes it boring.
Right, so like, at the end of the game, if you liberated all the outposts, there's really nothing left to do, except for like hunt little relics. But it kind of takes away the fun of the game, because the fun of the game is you never really know what you're going to run into. So this is going to be cool. It's going to be available for all the people who have cleared all the outposts. Like you have to have all the outposts cleared to be able to reset them.
Okay.
And some of the other tweaks are like a harder difficulty.
Yeah, like a master difficulty or something like
that.
that.
If you're like the Far Cry guru, that'll be cool. And that'll like, yes, dinosaurs.
That would be awesome, dinosaurs.
I'm sure there's a mod for it somewhere. I mean, on PC.
Carnivores 2, that was one of my favorite games on PC.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
You never knew what was going to hit you.
Nope.
Finally this week in boring news.
Oh, John Romero of Doom, Quake. Didn't he do Daikatana 2 as well?
Probably.
He's released a tweet where he was at Square Enix and wanted to make. He's like, let's make this deal.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's been doing a lot of social gaming type things, like Facebook games.
Right.
I think they did a Ghost Recon game for Facebook. So yeah, I wonder what he's doing with Square.
Doom Fantasy 3. You got to put a 3 on the end of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope he gets back into the hardcore games because I think first-person shooters could definitely use somebody that started the industry, so he can kind of bring it back to what made them exciting.
Yeah, he probably got pissed at seeing all the Call of Duty rehashes and stuff like that. Maybe he's like, let's go back to our roots.
In like id Software, which he was a major part of, which he no longer is. Their latest game, Rage, came out. And it didn't do too well review-wise, but I actually really liked it. Like, the graphics were amazing for what it was, and the gameplay was pretty solid, too. Multiplayer was stupid, because it wasn't like deathmatch. It was like Twisted Metal.
Hmm.
So it was kind of weird there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they got. If it's a social game, I won't be disappointed at that point.
Yeah, that would be disappointing. They're gonna make like a Tomb Raider, like Facebook game.
Yeah.
Mm.
Walking Dead social game.
They already got one.
Yeah, that one doesn't count. That one looks horrible. Okay, so the big news of the week was some small company
Yeah.
talked about some new console.
Yeah, they're releasing a new console.
I think it's going to be called like the PlayStation 4 or something.
Mhm.
So
Coming out this year,
yeah,
2013 holiday season.
are you excited? It's the end of a console generation.
I guess.
We are at the cusp of a new era of consoles
This is true. This is
turning
true.
into PC gamers.
Like, yeah. like, I'll be 100% honest. I'm not as excited as I used to be.
I am excited about some of the stuff they're doing. I don't know if I'm necessarily excited about the PlayStation as a whole, but for the industry, I'm excited. So let's get the boring stuff out of the way. It's coming out this year, holiday 2013. No exact date, no price. Architecture-wise, hardware-wise, wasn't too impressed with it. It's 8 gigabytes of memory, which obviously is more than what we've got now.
Mm-hmm.
It's internal hard drive. The processor is actually x86.
Mm-hmm.
Why they would go with the 32-bit processor, I'm kind of questioning. But knowing the architecture of consoles, they don't use the CPU as much as they use the GPU.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't talk about the graphics processor that much, or how many there are.
Yeah.
So
Now, doesn't this processor make it more like similar to how they do PC games?
yeah. I mean, it is literally, like Dave said, it is like a low to mid-range PC.
Okay.
The other cool thing is there is a secondary processor chip on there that will actually let you play games as you download them. So this is pretty cool. Like, this is one of the things I was excited about. And I was actually talking to you about how Blizzard does this with their games. Like, as it's downloading it, you can play it. So this is pretty cool. You know, because there's always, especially now that they're pushing like the direct to drive and the day one download.
Yeah. Yes.
Who wants to say, okay, Tomb Raider's coming out tomorrow. It's 14 gigabytes, which Tomb Raider comes out next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, pretend Tomb Raider's coming out tomorrow. It's 14 gigabytes, and now I have to wait 12 hours, even on broadband.
Yeah, 14 gigs to download is a long time.
Right, even with good broadband.
Or like when you rent a movie. No, I think when you rent a movie online, your timer starts once you hit play.
Right, and the cool thing about renting movies is those you can actually stream.
Yes, you're right there.
But that's cool. Like I am excited about that. That actually leads me a little more into actually purchasing digitally than what I was. Because you look at it and say, oh, okay, I can download this for 14 hours, or I can drive to GameStop in 10 minutes and pick it up.
Yep.
So.
And you can return it if you don't like it.
Right.
And get your money back.
Plus, I mean, the downsides to downloading games, there are a few other ones like bandwidth issues. Overseas, we have some overseas fans.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those overseas in different countries cap your download limit and just cut you off as soon as you hit that.
That's not cool.
So, I think that whole situation is probably going to go away, or at least get better as the technology improves, and B, as the demand increases.
My favorite thing about the PS4 is that you can stream PS1 through 3 games and play them on the PS4. That's pretty.
That's cool in theory. I have a problem with that because they say that if you have previously purchased games, you have to buy them again.
You got a point there. I've only bought one I think it was a PS1 game. Yeah, just one PS1 game on the PS3, and that was Resident Evil 2. And I just I've been like on the fence about getting like Final Fantasy 8.
Right.
What else? Parasite Eve, all these other games that I really liked. I've been just on the fence, and I'm kind of glad I didn't buy them.
Yeah, I mean, all the network games, all of your day one DL downloads, stuff like that, DLC, won't be compatible with the PlayStation 4. Yeah, the streaming is cool, but we'll see A, how much is available, and B, how much it costs.
Now, I wonder if the reason you can't use it, I mean, is it still the PlayStation Network, or are they going to give us another system here?
They said it's still PlayStation Network because they say they're still going to have the Plus subscription and stuff like that. So, we'll see. The DualShock controller, the DualShock 3, which is what we currently use, won't be compatible. There's the new DualShock 4, which actually has a front touchpad, a headphone jack, and a share button, along with a light bar that basically works like the Move, and then the Move is actually still going to work. So the only thing that's not working is the current controller.
Yeah. At least it's not the controller that can, like...
Yeah. I mean, this
be.
controller actually looked really nice. So I like the design, and it looks functional. The share button is what I am excited about because that directly relates to us and what we do.
Yeah, what we do.
You'll actually be able to stream directly out to Ustream as you play, and people watching your Ustream can actually chat with you while you're on on your PlayStation. So
you think that might be what the headphone jack might be for, or something like that?
Well, what happens is, like, if like we have our chat here. If somebody's chatting with us, it'll show up on our screen, like, oh man, I don't know where to go in Uncharted 32. What do I do? And they can be like, oh well, you can go left here and get the secret thing, and then go here. So that's pretty cool. It's like your over the shoulder buddy.
Yeah.
But it leads to backseat gaming.
Backseat gaming. Let's maybe some interesting let's plays.
Right. Right. Choose your own adventure while you watch us fail.
Yeah.
So that I am excited about. What about this Vita remote play? Definitely taking a page from the Wii U.
Yeah, they are taking a page from the Wii U. So, I saw a Vita today when I went to Target, and
still not it.
I mean, like, I would, one day maybe.
Right.
One day, Vita for sure. Well, but then there's a 3DS. I don't know. What would you get, 3DS or a Vita?
Currently, probably a 3DS, just because they are pretty good about releasing old games that I want to play, and the new games look pretty nice too.
Breath of Fire,
the new Castlevania. What's that one that just came out that they have all the commercials for? I can't think of it now. It's the one that's selling out everywhere. It's the RPG. Whatever. The new Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
That's it.
That's it.
Fire Emblem. So, no, I'd still say 3DS.
Games, Killzone,
Yeah.
Infamous, Second Son, Watch Dogs. Now, Watch Dogs, is that the one with the... I remember Watch Dogs now. A little sidetrack there. Diablo 3.
Diablo 3?
Yeah.
That's a Blizzard game on consoles. It's actually coming out for the PS3 too. And we're all making the joke that it's going to run like crap on the PS3, and the looks are really the best thing about Diablo 3. So, the big news about Diablo 3 on consoles is it doesn't require an internet connection. So it'll be the only version that will allow offline play. Also, the PS4 in general doesn't require an internet connection, as was kind of previously rumored.
Yeah. So now it's all up to the next Xbox for us to figure this out.
Right.
Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And Destiny. We talked about Destiny last week.
Right.
The Bungie game. So we talked about the share button.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The new camera, the new Move camera, has two lenses. One that follows your movement and one that smooths your movement.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool that they're stepping up the tech there. It will indeed play used games. We argued about this.
Yeah. It does have a disc drive as well.
Yes.
I heard that. I heard rumors that they didn't show it at this announcement because it didn't have a disc drive, and they didn't want people to cry about it.
Freak out. Yeah. Yeah. I guess the development models don't have it. Game prices will still range from $1 to $60, so we're not seeing an price in the software.
That's good.
Yeah. Output was a big question because 4K resolution is like the next big thing, and it will output in 4K, but only video. It won't actually output games in 4K resolution. So they couldn't call it the PlayStation 4K.
That would have been kind of. I was about to say that would have been kind of cool.
It would have been a nice marketing move, but yeah, I mean, 4K resolution's still pretty new. We'll get there. I think by the end of this life, it'll be what everybody has.
You know how they always like do a reiteration of the PlayStation, like a slimmer version. The slimmer version will be the 4K.
Right.
Yeah. So you know, maybe the next Blu-rays, maybe we'll start getting some 4K Blu-rays or something.
Yeah, whatever. So, and along with this, the new PlayStation app is actually coming out for iOS and Android, and maybe Windows phones. They weren't too sure. And that'll actually allow you to have a second screen that'll integrate right with the PS4. And this was pretty cool. This is kind of what I thought Xbox Smart Glass was trying to do, but never actually did. I
haven't heard much about Smart Glass.
It's because it doesn't do anything. It lets you look at your achievements. So you can chat. You can chat on it.
Okay.
So, but why would you chat on your cell phone when you got Facebook Messenger, you got Instant Messenger, you got text message.
You can have. There's Twitter on there.
Twitter, right? What do I need another Xbox Messenger for?
Yeah, no.
But the app will allow you to have the second screen, and you can actually put like maps and stuff on there, and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. But PlayStation 4 overall, you said you're not that excited about it. What do you think? What do you think Microsoft needs to do to wow you at this point?
See, I don't think I can be wowed.
No,
because like when we mentioned these new systems a few months ago, this is the 40th episode, by the way.
Yeah, 40.
We're three months away from doing this for a whole year. But yeah, a couple months ago, we were talking about these new systems coming out before we knew anything. I think it was around when the Wii came out, was coming out. Right. I was saying that I don't think we really need these new consoles just yet. I mean, I still don't feel like there's a need for it.
Yeah. I mean, people say that this has been, the longest console generation. That's true for Xbox, but it's not true for PlayStation.
Nah. Didn't it come out last?
Yeah, if this release is when they say it is in holiday 2013, it'll actually be about 2 months faster than between PlayStation 2 and 3. So, Xbox, however, is a lot longer. Like when if the new Xbox comes out at the end of the year, it'll actually be almost 10 years. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Jeez. But yeah, I don't feel like I really need something new. Like the jump off between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. Like I was excited in that console war era. You know? And then 2 to 3, like I didn't get a 3 until the PS3 was out for a few years.
Late, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I got an Xbox first and then got a PS3.
Same here. So I don't know. There's nothing really like pulling me in just yet.
Okay.
I'm still content with what I got. So
all right.
Nothing. Right now, the Wii U is a little more attractive to me.
Okay.
So it's just attractive. That's it. I can look, but I won't touch.
Which is funny for the Wii U. So.
Yeah. No, I'm not a huge Nintendo guy. But,
oh well. Yeah, I'm sure we'll learn more about the PlayStation 4 as it gets closer. Maybe it'll jumpstart us. Who knows? Microsoft did register its big event domain, so I'm sure we'll get an announcement from Microsoft shortly. Because they did say that they were waiting for Sony to make the first move.
Okay.
And now that Sony's made its move, Microsoft's probably like, oh crap, we need to do all this stuff. So, we're running a little long. We had a second discussion topic, but I think we'll save that for next week.
Yeah, let's save it.
So, I have a review. You don't have any previews or reviews?
No, I'm booked.
You're booked, yeah. Okay. So, my review is going to be Dishonored. So let's cue up the video. Hopefully it plays at single speed. If not, it'll be a fast review.
The intro played at normal speed.
It did. So yeah, this looks pretty good. So we'll stick with this. This is Dishonored. It is I guess I could say first-person shooter, but it's not really a shooter. It's more of like a first-person stealth game.
Like Thief?
Yes, very reminiscent of Thief. In fact, there are some Easter eggs to Thief in it. Well, Thief 2. But you play as a guy who has been dishonored. Yes, this was definitely not my no-kill playthrough. One of the cool things about this game is you do have the option to go through the whole game without actually killing someone, and it is actually encouraged, because to get the best ending you have to have what's called a low chaos, which basically means that you kill very few people. But you get multitudes of power that help you sneak around. Obviously, I am, not super stealthy, but stealthy enough. A lot of melee, emphasis on melee combat. You do have some ranged weapons like a crossbow, pistol, different kinds of stuff. But as you guys see, the graphics for the game are actually really good. This is the Xbox 360 version. The PC version looks even better, but it runs smooth. It looks great. The gameplay itself is solid. Like, there were no stealth issues. There was no point in the game that I thought was kind of cheesy. You do have multiple powers, so you can upgrade, and it actually makes the game a little easier. So overall, pretty cool. I was pretty impressed with the art style. must took my time reading it. But overall, there's a lot of collectibles and stuff for you to look for in each level. It is actually linear, so you're
not like a Skyrim.
Right. No, there are very, very much indeed missions that you have to complete in a specific order. And the areas are pretty detailed, but they are broken up by loading screens. It was kind of annoying, but luckily the loading wasn't really long enough that I noticed it, and it did actually encourage you to install it, but I never had any problem, and since I rented it, I didn't want to waste the hard drive space. The audio for the game, which unfortunately you guys can't hear right now, is actually really good. The sound effects are good. The music and everything go right along with it. So I'm going to take this guy's body and put it somewhere.
Now, what's the time period for this game?
It's like in its own. It's kind of steampunky type of thing. So it takes place in an era that, like steampunk Victorian type era.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. One of the coolest things about this game is the way you play affects how the game plays. So I know that sounds kind of redundant, but the best way I can put it is, like, say you go through a playthrough and you kill a lot of people, then there's going to be a lot more infected people because there are a lot more bodies, and from that point it gets a little harder to sneak around. So I'm going to use my new power that I can actually possess that dog, once I actually hit him with it. This is actually the power I just unlocked, so I'm not quite used to it yet. But once you take possession of the dog, obviously they don't know you're in the dog, so you don't actually alert any of them. So that was pretty cool. It's a good way to sneak around. Like, you possess rats, fish, all kinds of stuff.
If you're a fish, could you get caught?
No. Actually, when you possess something, they don't catch you because they don't see you possess it. Downside to the dog is he will wake up.
He'll come after you?
Yes. Because obviously at that point he sees you. Fish and rats and stuff, they actually die when you're done. So, but overall, I was actually pretty impressed with this game. It got pretty good review scores, so I wanted to check it out. there are a couple downsides to it. The first downside really is it's really short. Like the actual playthrough time for this game on a first playthrough was about 7 hours, which is okay if the game encourages multiple playthroughs. But really, the only thing encouraging multiple playthroughs is the achievements. Because on my first playthrough, actually on medium difficulty, I was able to actually get the best ending. I wasn't able to obviously get the no kill achievement, but other than that, there really isn't any reason. I did go back and try it on the hardest difficulty, and that kind of goes back to my other complaint about this game is once you learn how to abuse the powers, this game is actually really easy, even on the hardest difficulty.
Kind of like what is it? That Star Wars game, Force Unleashed 2.
Yeah.
Where you start out with like all the powers, so
right.
You're just like almost indestructible.
Right. This game does a little bit better of curbing your abilities, but once you know which powers are good and how to, like I said, how to abuse them, it's so easy to get through the game. But overall, I'm gonna say 8.5 out of 10.
8.5.
Yeah, it's a good. If you're looking for a good stealth game, I definitely say pick it up. But otherwise, I would definitely say rent it.
Rent.
Yeah.
So now, okay, Dishonored came out at the same time XCOM: Enemy Unknown came out.
Right.
There's like debate going on about which game was a better game to pick up that day. Now, if you had the choice between XCOM or this, which would you pick?
XCOM, just because the sheer amount of gameplay you get out of XCOM, especially for $60, man. I was thinking about buying this game, and I am so glad I didn't, because I would have been pissed if I spent $60 on this game. Because this goes back to our game's too short, and this one definitely was. Like the gameplay was solid, everything was enjoyable. There just wasn't enough of it. So, but I am doing a let's play for it.
That's cool.
Because it's mission-based, it's short, so I got to start working on the voiceovers for it and editing some videos, because there were certain points where I definitely stopped and reloaded my save. So I might edit those parts out. So you guys will see the best playthrough.
The best of the best.
Yeah, because I being the first playthrough, there was some stuff that I did that I wanted to try to do differently. Obviously, like this, like missing all my jumps and stuff. So, but overall, pretty good.
8.5.
8.5.
Definitely pick it up over XCOM. Let's put that to rest.
Yeah, XCOM is definitely the winner of those two.
There were some people in the forums, like I used to frequent the XCOM Enemy Unknown forums, and there are people that I'm glad that I returned this game and picked up XCOM.
Yeah, I mean XCOM, not even counting multiplayer, there's just so much to XCOM that it is definitely better for your money. Now, if they were both, say Dishonored's $10 and XCOM's $30, maybe then pick up Dishonored.
Save some cash.
Right. But that's it. So next week we will talk licensed games.
We will talk licensed games. I just got an email that the Wolverine game that we've been talking about has been shipped, so I might get that in the mail tomorrow or something. So.
Oh yeah, you just gameflied it.
Yep, gameflied it.
I might have to borrow that one to get my last achievement.
Nice.
So you
have to beat it on the hardest difficulty or something.
Yeah, which shouldn't be too bad. Nah. I was actually looking at that at GameStop today when I picked up Naruto and Fable 3. Fable 3, man, I've heard mixed stuff about it, but it was only $8, so I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, dude, I gotta at least try it. And I knew I liked the Naruto game, and that was only 14 or something.
Okay.
So, and I had a gift card, so
nice.
I paid for all of it.
I know, that's cool.
I was actually thinking about getting Crackdown 2, because I never played the second one. I haven't heard great things about it, but I'm kind of jonesing for that open world action.
I rented Crackdown 2, and I didn't finish it. I kind of did what we did when we played Aliens or Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
where we played a little bit through it and I just gave up. Like that's how I felt about Crackdown 2.
Oh.
I guess I just have a really sour taste in my mouth about Crackdown because I played the first game to death.
Yeah.
I was 2 like green orbs away. You know, there's 500 hidden in the game.
Right.
I was 2 away from like getting all the achievements.
Dang.
I played that game. You remember how much
Yeah.
I played that game? And when they released that update, that update for the game that like changed everything up and screwed up some people's saves,
You were one of them.
I lost. Yeah, I lost everything. I just could not play Crackdown again. I couldn't.
I mean,
killed
the
it.
second one's gotten, you know, it wasn't bad scores. It was definitely, you know,
Yeah.
like 7.5. They actually most of them have said that the second one just didn't do enough different than the first one. Like it was so. I might pick it up at some point because I mean that's another one that's only like $14 or something.
True.
And you know, for $14 for a Crackdown game, you know that's a lot of content for $15.
Good old Crackdown.
Maybe Grand Theft Auto 4, like the add-on packs. I definitely didn't play all of those, so that's
Nah.
one thing to check out. But I think I got enough to keep me busy for now.
Oh yeah. Oh, what I really need to play is Red Dead Redemption.
You still haven't played that?
No.
Oh man, why isn't that in your queue?
I don't know.
You should do like Red Dead Redemption was really good. Like I actually want to play it on Xbox because PlayStation had a few problems that not nearly to the level of Skyrim, but you know there were a few things in there that kind of annoyed me. So that's got to be cheap now too.
Yeah. Especially with the add-on, maybe like $30.
Yeah. The zombie add-on was supposed to be really
Don't they have
cool.
that pack now that comes the
Rockstar
Rockstar pack that comes with LA Noire, all the stuff, Red Dead Redemption, all this stuff, and all the Grand Theft Auto 4 DLC.
Yeah. I might have to check that out because if that's only like $50-$60 and go that way.
Yeah, I would get that.
All right, well that'll do it for us tonight. Every Monday night we are here talking
about games.
Obviously, I'm still very tired, so
Yeah.
I'm struggling to stay awake.
Yeah, I might take a nap.
At this point, it's like going to bed.
Yeah, it's like going to bed now.
So,
But I will not play Galactic Civilizations.
You're such a liar.
I won't.
I'm gonna go back to the room, do some stuff, and then come back out. And you're gonna be on the computer playing Galactic Civilizations.
I won't.
So, big announcement is we actually have a hashtag associated with the show now. So if you hashtag Gamers Digest, you can chat with us live. If you're not in the chat, itself, or if you have anything through the week, that's the way to do it. Just hashtag Gamers Digest, and we'll see it. Otherwise,
Cool.
Twitter, YouTube,
all that.
all the stuff in the outro that hopefully you'll hear this week because it won't be double speed. If it is double speed, then Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah, Twitter, YouTube. Email us viewer questions. So we've never gotten a viewer question yet.
No, we haven't. Send us in a question and we'll talk about it. First person to send us a question gets a cookie. No cookies left.
Yeah, picture of it.
Gamers Digest is a Spider One and Mr. Factastic production. All characters and games are owned by their respective companies and are used under the Fair Use Law. Check out Gamers Digest at gamersdigest.me, on YouTube under Gamers Digest Podcast, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter at The Gamers Digest. Viewer questions and comments can always be sent to gamersdigestpodcast@gmail.com. See you next week.